Pow wow yo yippee yay guys, part number 33. Super excited to be with you guys today. We're gonna dive into the love of the community that is growing on a daily basis, then talk about the markets, are we heading for the bull or not, and then talk about SwissBorg ecosystem that is flourishing, especially right now with so much great news that is about to come. As you guys know, my name is Cyrus Fazell. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. If you want to represent SwissBorg the Green Eyes, you know what to do. Go on Twitter, ask Mr. Sprengers, and he will make your eyes as green as possible. Question of the week. When, why, how come SwissBorg doesn't have a credit card? I think so. We've gone through this multiple times. I'm still a fan of credit cards. I think so. It would be really cool to have a debit card, a SwissBorg one, where people be able to purchase things and make payments in a more efficient way by using their cryptos. What are the reasons you believe SwissBorg should have a debit card or a credit card? How would this grow the ecosystem? How would this, how would we be using the CHSB token? What are the reasons why we should be looking forward to this? Please comment here, share your thoughts, and who knows, if you get a lot of likes, this discussion might be an initiative, and hopefully this initiative maybe one day will pass through and we'll be developing that. Last week we covered what is blockchain, but how does blockchain work? Well, essentially something very easy. Think about it as someone sending data, someone receiving data, right? These are your two wallet addresses, but it could be like an email. It's the same thing as two different IDs, right? One sending, one receiving. When that action happens, then it gets validated, that transaction, by miners, right? If it's proof of work or proof of stake. Anyways, the validator then takes that block and that transaction and updates then the ledger. And then that block creates a chain because there's another block that creates behind it and then behind it. And essentially the ledger gets all these transactions, puts it into a block and puts it onto a chain. And that's the reason why it's pretty much impossible to change the course of action of these different blockchains, because once it's tampered, it's immutable, it's on the chain. You have blocks that then create another blocks and another blocks and another blocks, and think about a train, and that all of that is on distributed ledgers that are decentralized, and everyone has their record of essentially the different transactions that happen, and that's what the miners do all the time. Warm welcome to Henry. Super excited to have him. He's been for half a decade at Wise as a KYC. He's going to be bringing better and better processes to make our platform safer and your life safer as well. So super excited to have him. He'll be working from our talent office. If you want to be part of our wonderful team, there's so many new jobs always happening, such as DeFi product manager, data engineering, security engineering, but now we're looking for a web designer that could be remote, operational risk. We're getting more and more people into the risk department in order to, again, help you guys to make a platform more secure. And there's so much really cool jobs. So please refer one of your friends or apply to any of these jobs, and we're looking forward to onboard you with our brilliant family. Market update. This is very relevant, and I think so it's something that we should follow more and more often, is to predict a bit where the market is going. Very often we see in financial markets is that some small amount of people get into trends at a very early stage, and then when the big mass comes, unfortunately they sell off and take profits, and then suddenly the main retail markets lose a lot. And we see this it's very common as well in crypto, right? So we see, for example, here we see the participation score, that is the accumulation between small fish, that's the regular retail people, and massive whales in the crypto market. And we've seen that whenever it's red, very often there's a big amount of red. It then tends to go a little bit more into yellow, and then to oranges, and then eventually gets to where especially the retail comes in, and then the market corrects again. And then what happens is that there is accumulation of big whales brings back the market higher, we get more retail in, and then this types of repeat, right? Market doesn't repeat, but it rhymes usually. And I think so it's very interesting to see that this obviously happens in late December or late November. If you remember, like Paul Tudor and all the big hedge fund guys and big institutions got into crypto, but mainly hedge fund guys, I would say. And we then saw this crazy peak happening, and then mostly retail people got here, got a little bit disappointed. And now it seems that again we're seeing, so not the huge guns, but a big amount of still whales here that are accumulating since 30,000. And that doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be a sell-off here, but we might see another accumulation of a new phase of small fishes. Might happen right now, but it could. And I think so this is something, we should always look at. And if we see that, you see accumulation of a lot of small fish, in general, that is a tendency that there is going to be probably a correction, because there's euphoria at that moment, and on the long run it doesn't really matter, because people who got into the 2017 bubble of crypto bought Bitcoin, let's say at 10,000 to 20,000, but today 4 years later we're at 150% higher than that, so even or much more than that. So, and same with Ether, going to 1,300 now, over 3,000. So on the long run it doesn't really matter, but if you guys like trading and be more active, I think so this is a really on-chain accumulation trend, is something really to look carefully to see what phase are we in. And if we see a really big amount of accumulation of small fish, unfortunately that usually is a very pessimistic. On the other side, when we see big guns coming in and whales coming in, that is usually a very, very healthy side. So what does this bring to BTC overall? Just great news. I mean, you could see the moving averages were way higher than that. There's really the RSI right now, the strength it is quite high, but not too high. When usually you see RSI way too high, that usually means there's going to be probably some profit taking, but in this case there is a great amount of momentum. And talking about Ethereum, it's just going out of the roof. There's so much accumulation, so much good institutional investors, but retail, everyone is really pro Ether this latest moments, and there is definitely still some upside to happen. Which brings us to our favorite token, which is just booming back into the top 90, back at the $1 state, over 1 billion market cap, which is amazing. Obviously the tier 1 centralized exchange getting listed there is one of the big news, but there's so much more momentum, there's so much more people buying CHSB as we speak, and this shows that we have now over, I think so, 40 to 50% gains since the beginning of the last 7 days. And I think so it really shows again that SwissBorg is one of the best challenger in this crypto space, and a lot to happen. Talking about other different projects which are really great, just wanted to outline Ren. Ren is really one of those great projects that enables to participate into the DeFi space, creating, for example, the Ren protocol, which brings in BTC into Ether. It really enhances liquidity in general. It helps application and DeFi is being more and more used. The token economics is well thought as well. It's a great way you could actually yield on the Ren by validating different nodes that happens within their own protocol. I think so the team itself is a very decentralized team, which I really believe that in the DeFi space is very important. Going forward, it might be this kind of projects that could really boom. Last but not least, I think so there's something great as well, is that RenVM now supports Arbitrum, a layer 2 scaling for Ethereum, and since the last week it has already gained 20%. There's probably, as we will see, that being able to be a cross-chain lending exchange for collateralization and for other perspective for DeFi, I think so it is most probably one that to look at carefully, especially if the Arbitrum really happens well and its layer 2 enables to reduce obviously gas price, but as well to bring scalability to where it needs. SwissBorg Nation, one of the best platforms to really decentralize our governance system, enable to our token holders to take decisions on how our network is going to evolve. I really love this. We're just growing as a community, and taking the responsibility to propose these different initiatives and to pass them through a voting mechanism that could essentially improve our ecosystem is something I really care for. And I wanted to thank all the people that have been very active in the past 6 months, whether it's from the Federal Council or it's from the National Council. I think so it's been a really good way. And how does a project usually happen? So people could propose any initiative. It's then looked after if it's feasible or not. Then we try to make sure that there's no overlap, like if there's not already initiatives that are very similar, or that essentially our roadmap is already considered doing these different features or products. And then really, how much value does it bring to token holders, to the ecosystem, and eventually to the world? And this is really what you look at. There's been many initiatives, and really all of them, to be honest, I really love them. The short list that happened so far was SwissBorg Charity Fund. That was the one that was elected in the top 3. And the creation of this charity fund for SwissBorg community to participate in a lot of different NGOs and different essentially things that could really improve this planet. And I think so it was really great. It had received 8 votes. There's the Token Encyclopedia, which was a very good one. Really well thought of to create a better coin market cap through SwissBorg. With a lot of different token listed, but with analyticals, with really things that you could look into, right? Like a type of Bloomberg that gave you a lot of fundamental information, because people have thought that, CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, it's good, but not good enough, and that SwissBorg could create this like decentralized Wikipedia for crypto and tokens. And I think so. I believe that this is a great initiative, and hopefully will pass one day. Last but not least, the one that has got it, the ultimate votes. 38 people voted for this one, which means that the CHSB yield bonus is going to happen. What does that mean? It means that it will reward people for being very loyal and being very loyal. Being loyal meaning that people that are essentially staking into the different CHSB yields will receive a better yield the further they stick into it. If people are going in and off and essentially being a little bit less loyal, well, then they won't have such a high yield. And I think so this is something that shows again that more than only our national council, our community really stands for values that are on the long-term growth. I really want to thank this initiative as it has passed. So as we're speaking, the product team, the dev team is looking how to implement this. And again, this could give you extra boosts to your yield if you're here and for the long run, which is the case of many of us. So thank you so much again for this. I think so this is really good. Looking forward to the next initiatives that are going to happen during the different National Council meetings. And hopefully we'll have a lot of a great time to brainstorm. Last but not least, even if initiatives don't pass, it's a great way to start thinking about new projects, how we can implement them on the roadmap. And it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone that hasn't passed, we won't implement it, right? Like in the Swiss democracy, a lot of initiatives here are here to, bring subjects on the table and have that discussion. And even if initiatives don't pass, it does a little bit change the way we think, the way we essentially live all together. And I think so this is a great platform for it. Announcement of the week, guys. Take out your beautiful phone and scan through this beautiful $1 NFT on your Engine wallet. Just please go for it, scan it. We don't have so many left, so just enjoy it. And these NFT are collectibles today, but tomorrow we don't know how much power it would bring into our ecosystem and the ecosystem to happen. Big announcement of the week. Yes, it's happening imminently. We are going to be listed on Bitfinex this week, and it's going to bring some volume, and it's going to bring some happiness, and it's going to bring some more momentum. I'm very delighted to really thank the whole team of Bitfinex and the people at SwissBorg that have been working really hard to make this happen. Third announcement of the week. My God, so much things to talk about this week. Token. We're going to list the token this week. Yes. So the idea is to see what token is it. Here in the comments list, please just throw different ideas. One of you guys who guess it right, we'll do a little, like, just a random choice. One of you guys will be earning 50 CHSB. So just throw there whatever you want on Twitter, and as well here, comment in this list, and make sure that you get it right. It could be any of these tokens. By the way, I hope you recognize this guy's name, which obviously is Token from SwissBorg. So really looking forward to have this new crypto into our wallet, and I'm for sure gonna buy some. Fourth announcement of the week. There's so much things happening, guys. SwissBorg swag online, I think so. It's really, really cool. Big thanks to Hugo and the rest of the team to making this happen. It is a really cool website, which I really think is awesome. You'd be able to buy your swag regardless where you are. It is a bit complicated for Swiss people living because it's out of Europe. The factory is based in Spain. So shipping across Europe is doing very well. In Switzerland, it's a bit complicated. So if you're in Switzerland, you could always come to the office. If not, I think so you have to pay a little bit extra. But there's so much cool things to buy, and more importantly, this is a great way to show the love. And what I think so it's really cool is that we actually been even able to process some of these purchases with Utrust. And again, that really shows how we're using not only our partnership but blockchain ecosystem. You can finally pay with your crypto through the SwissBorg shop. So if you guys don't know, the website, it's shop.swissborg.com. SwissBorg app in some data, guys. Things are growing great. We have added 7,000 people from last week. All-time high at 1.8 billion assets under management, 6 billion total volume, which is fantastic. Number of users 250,000. I think so. That's all-time high as well. 250,000. That's a lot of people depositing, being active in the app. And I think so. What I talked about earlier. If we start paying payments like with credit cards or debit cards within the app, maybe that could boost us maybe to 304 or 450, right? So maybe that will be a great way to activate some of our great friends who still haven't got into crypto. One of the most popular exchanges, Euro to CHSB, 260,000 so far, which is great. And obviously the pair that is the most traded is USDC, BTC, and it's back and forth. It's really a great way for people to trade, and I understand it because that's exactly what I do as well. Yields in wallet, we lost some momentum on USDC as the market are picking up, but overall things are going great. And as obviously the SwissBorg token and many other cryptos has grown, we're now 1.155 billion assets under management, which is great. SwissBorg data, we have still a big amount of premium, close to 20,000, which is great. I know it's getting harder, but get into the community premium and the Genesis premium before it gets too hard to get into it. 70% pretty much staked. We have jumped 50%, which brings us in the top 90, which I think is amazing. Protect and burn just growing as we speak. And we added over 2,800 people that bought CHSB token within the app in the last week, which I think that is fantastic numbers. And that will only convert more people into the ecosystem, which we love so much. CH community index 9.4, guys. This is one of the most insane. Everything is pretty much up besides the community app, which is down. It is literally down. We're working on it. We were hoping to launch it very soon. It happened as very soon is more transparent to soon. There's still some things that we're working out, but we are going to be delivering it. But nevertheless, 9.4 is just insanely high. If you want me to answer any questions, just please make sure that you will make a great comment here and people will like it, and I'll answer whatever you want. If not, please follow us, subscribe to this channel, and comment and do whatever you can to make sure that we grow as an ecosystem. Guys, we are back. Chapter 4, listing, new tokens, the crypto challenge about to happen, these NFT scanning all the time. You could earn now CHSB tokens by just guessing which is the next token we're listing. A lot of great momentum, and thanks to you guys. This summer is always a little bit, a little bit more, let's say, chill. But now we're really back into business at full, deploying as much as we can. So thank you so much for your trusts. Looking forward to have an awesome weeks to happen, and an awesome quarter as well to finish in a really handsomely way. So guys, as you guys know, this is the best time of the week for myself. Much love. be wealthy, be healthy, and love our CHSB. Take care, guys.